Hello and good evening, guys. It's Leon here, and today I have a really great topic to cover, actually. And if you're a business owner, this is going to be really important as a fast track tutorial on copywriting. And if you run a business and you do marketing, so you run ads or you do social media or you do networking or any types of marketing, this is going to be critical to your business. And I've got 10 key points I want to talk about today. Not in my usual setting because I'm currently in Poland right now. So over with my fiance, visiting her family. So I'm coming at you live and direct. So the time here in Poland is actually 9:30. So in the UK, I know it's 8:30, so we're an hour ahead. But anyway, if this is the first time watching me on YouTube, remember to subscribe to the channel right now and click on the notification bell. And also click on the thumbs up to turn that from gray to blue. And if you're watching me on Facebook, you can give me a thumbs up as well. And thank you for joining me. This is a really great topic that I'm going to cover because a lot of people, they don't really get into what copywriting is. And this quick tutorial, I guess, is really just to allow you to understand perhaps what you're missing. Because I come across a lot of business owners day in, day out, week in, week out, and they don't understand in essence what marketing is, and in particular what it is when you understand how copy can help you. And when you do understand how copy can help you, it's almost like you're opening a door to a new understanding of what marketing is, what business is. And I'm not saying this lightly either, especially if you're watching this back on the replay or if you're watching this live. Too many people take copywriting and think it's all words, and I don't really like creating words and blah, blah, blah. But I'll just tell you this part. When you understand copywriting, it influences not just what you put down as words, whether it's on your funnels, on your sales pages, in your squeeze pages. Copywriting affects how you actually deliver live video. It affects how you think about strategically in terms of connecting with your audience. And that's why this topic that I'm covering with you is really important. So I've got 10 key points that I want to cover with you. But what I'm going to do is just give you a quick overview, first of all, just so you understand more about what copywriting is. So whether you run ads, have funnels, create social media posts, videos, live streams, webinars, video sales letters, podcasts, copywriting exists, whether it's pre-prepared or through ad lib approach, so where you just kind of just say things on the fly because you know your topic. But the reality is a lot of people don't really get to grips with, that copywriting. When you get more strategic with, I guess, what message you want to put out there. And when I say strategic, I don't mean, you lose sight or connection with your audience, but you get strategic in the approach that you understand why it's so important to get your message out in a particular way, in a particular structure. And that's what copywriting in essence is. It's following a structure that really appeals to your target audience. And what I want to share with you is how you can take just even the simple steps in understanding what copy is and move your marketing results to the next level. So, however, when copywriting is prepared in advance, this gives the owner, i.e. you guys, business owners, an unfair advantage in the marketplace. So you're probably asking, well, why is this? Because you take the strategic approach to persuade your audience on whether it's your culture or the way your business operates. So when I say your culture, I mean your business, your approach, so it could be approach in the marketplace, no matter what industry or niche you're in. You want to persuade people on your business, that you're a viable option or solution for them to solve the problems that they have with your products and services. And ultimately to persuade your audience on your offers, what it is that you're offering for, sale. And this is why for me, copywriting is such an important thing, because I guess some people think, let me just fire up and do a Facebook live stream and, just show up and create content. And I see a lot of people who, they do a lot of live streams, they do a lot of videos, and they end up in the friend zone. Do you know what the friend zone is? Have you ever created a video or done a live stream and ended up in the friend zone? No. So let me share with you what the friend zone is. The friend zone is when people say, that was a great video. That was an awesome video. And you keep getting those responses, but nobody gets in touch with you or nobody buys from you. That's when your marketing message is in the friend zone. Can any of you relate to that? So if you get this grasp on what copywriting is, with what I'm going to share with you, I've got 10 steps that you can use. You will get out of the friend zone. And because I don't want you, if you're watching this right now, business owner, if you're watching this back on the replay, I want you to get out of the friend zone, because getting out of the friend zone means that you're going to score. You're going to get yourself a client. Yeah, you're going to land that guy. You're going to land that girl. So I'm going to help you go forward, guys. So let's have a look at what the goal is of copywriting first of all, because I just want to get this clear. Because a lot of people think about copy and they think it's like writing essays in English class back at high school. That's not copy. Yeah, there is a process where if you are creating sales letters, or you're creating pages for your funnels or whatever else, like webinars, that kind of stuff, it will take you, to create, I guess, some type of essay, but in a webinar format, VSL format, whatever. But I want to share with you just the key steps so you understand, even if you don't end up creating like a sales letter, a webinar, or anything like that, but now you'll be better prepared and you'll have an advantage because you'll understand how to put even videos together better, and other marketing materials which use words. And if you do video, if you use text on pages, well, it's probably most of your marketing. If you do podcast, even how to structure your podcast episodes better. So let's have a look at the goal. The goal of copy is simple. Your first sentence should get the reader to read the second sentence, and so on and so forth. But if you're doing videos, basically the headline or the first part of how you open up a video should get the person to stay so that they watch the next 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, the next minute, and so on and so forth. That's what copy is all about. It's the words that we use. And if you're thinking about your marketing, the more successful you are at keeping a person's attention, especially in this day and age, where there's so many distractions, mobile phones, if you're a parent, you got kids and various other things, even your partner, family, whatever, people's attention spans are shorter than ever. And I was reading this statistic on the Microsoft website recently, because I was looking at some stats to do with attention and marketing. And according to Microsoft, the average attention span right now is 8 seconds. Can you believe that? So the better that your copy is, the better that your words are, the better that your videos are, not only will you be able to go up against people with attention spans of 8 seconds, what will actually happen is you'll capture people's attention to the point where they read your stuff, and they'll only have their 8-second attention spans on other things that's going on in their life. And the reason for that is you must create something that's compelling, something that is emotional, something that is engaging. And that's what I'm going to share with you in these 10 points. So let's kick off with step number 1, or point number 1. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit just so you guys can see this clearly. So the first thing is, whenever you're creating, it doesn't matter what you're creating, any type of content that you would class as marketing, you've got to start with the belief. What one thing do you want them, i.e. your audience, to take away? Yeah. And this is where people get kind of, I guess, confused. They get misunderstood because they don't understand why they're creating the content. They're creating it. And look, I've been there before, where you create content because you just want to show up, right? And showing up is okay. It gets you momentum, shows consistency. But you'll stay in the friend zone if you only ever create content that, I guess, is just to show up. So you got to get more strategic. So what's the belief that you want people to have? So I'll share with you what's the belief that I want people to have when I'm doing these live streams every Wednesday, every Sunday morning. I want people to know that I'm a trusted expert when it comes to marketing. And I understand that running a business as a business owner doesn't mean that you're some type of marketing robot, but actually a real person with, hang-ups, stress, anxiety, responsibilities, family, kids, different pressures. Yeah. So when I'm creating content, I want my audience to believe that Leon understands where they are, so they can put them, or rather my copy helps to put me in their shoes. So when they come across my videos or they see what I'm putting out as content, i.e. you guys watching right now, you understand that actually I've been there, and I also understand, what it's like to be where you are right now as well. So belief, that's one of the key steps. You've got to understand how to create belief in your audience, and you must focus on what's the one thing. If you're going with too many things as like an overarching thing that you want a person to take away from a video, from a blog post, a social media post, a podcast, you'll confuse your audience. So what's number two? Headlines. So whether it's an opening statement, whether it's a sales page, whether it's on your funnel pages, whether it's in your ads, the very first part of your Facebook ads, or whatever it is that you're using to market, headline or opening statement must be specific to what the audience will get. And I see a lot of people, they're not specific. So what happens is you get people who perhaps have some interest, but they lose interest very quickly. And the trouble with this is you fall foul of constantly triggering people, but people never really being engaged or reading or really wanting to watch what it is that you have. And obviously this causes a problem, because what happens is you have a disconnect with people, meaning that if you ran an ad on Facebook, let's say, and you haven't got a great headline, or people have got to your sales page, what may happen is you end up with lots of clicks, but not a lot of people who either opt in, so they opt in on the squeeze page, or actually people who take up the offer because you just didn't capture their attention right at the very beginning. So as an example, when it comes to headlines, you want to be very specific. So a recent headline that I used on the sales page that I had was discover how this solopreneur took his business to multi-six figures with one income stream, generating 118,000 in 12 months from a £27 online course. So you can see that's very specific. And I was talking about one of my clients, a solopreneur who took his business literally from 5 figures to multi-six figures with one income stream, generating 118,000 in 12 months. Actually, it was 100,000 in 11 months. And since then, the results have really taken off. But headlines, get very specific with what it is that you're sharing. Point number two is introduction. After your headline, it's going to be the next part of whatever it is that you're talking about. And some people call it the lead in after the headline. I call it simple. It's the introduction. If you're going to continue the flow of the headline, it's got to really excite the person. It's got to continue to capture their attention. So whenever you're putting content together, whether it's videos or whatever you're putting out, start in the middle of the action. Don't start off boring. So for instance, I'm going to go back to the sales list that I wrote recently. So for instance, I started off with that headline, and then my lead-in after that in the sales letter was, hey, Leon here. While I'm here in my living room as social lockdown eases in the UK, I have a really timely message to share with you. So the way that I'm looking at capturing the attention, or keeping the attention of the person, is by sharing, whilst I'm in my living room, I'm getting them to create pictures in their mind. So I'm getting them to picture where Leon is right now. And usually, right now, most people would be in their living room as they read this, or the office, but it creates something that people can relate to, and therefore continuing to keep that person engaged and really, start to create pictures. And the more pictures you create in someone's mind as they're reading, what it is you put out or watching you on video, the more that you'll capture their interest as you create more copy. So start in the middle of the action. There's different examples I can use with starting in the middle of the action. I got this one great one that I use for my clients on part of my online course. I'll give you the rough version because I can't remember it exactly, but when Clayton was shot in the middle of a chest in his limousine, the only thing that he could think to do was to stuff his wound with $1,100 bills and call his wife and tell her to get out. And so that was taken from, I think it was from a movie, but that was a quick example just showing how you start in the middle of the action. If you had something so dramatic, it's going to maintain and keep people engaged. So step 4 is short sentences. Whenever you're creating copy, ads, sales pages, the shorter your sentences, the better it is for people to read, because it keeps things flowing. The more white space people see, the better it is for them to kind of continue to be engaged and be interested in what it is that you're creating, especially if you create sales pages, if you create webinars, VSLs, that kind of stuff. less complication. So short sentences force you as well to use less complicated approaches to what it is that you're writing about. And that way you keep your audience entertained, so they stay with you, and it keeps the writing, or keeps the message that you're putting out on video flowing, and also keeps the person flowing with you. So point 5, benefits. So these work way better than features, and the simple reason is why? Because you can talk about the desires of your target audience. Now, a lot of people get confused when they talk about benefits, and especially, I come across business owners that get confused. Well, isn't this a feature or isn't this a benefit? And a lot of the times business owners get confused with what features are and benefits are. Features, in a nutshell, are all the, let's say, logical attributes of your product or service. So they're, the color, size, shape, quantity, all of the logical things that you could, kind of put a measurement on, or a specific attribute that you could account for with your product or service. Whereas a benefit will do something for the end user. And when you use benefits, you're going to start using language that focuses around helping a person to save time, do things quicker, not waste time. They're going to be able to earn more money, save money. They're going to live a better standard of life. So you're going to be using in your benefits things like time, money, and quality. So they're just 3 that you can start with when it comes to benefits. And a lot of people get confused because they'll say, oh, benefit of this is that, you can carry or it's easy for you to do something. That's more like an advantage. The only way that, you can really get into the quality is when it makes a difference to the person's life, i.e., it will, for instance, if you're a life coach, as an example, you'll improve your quality of life or your relationship with others once you understand how to control your ego. That would be an example. So a true benefit. So number 6, when you're creating copy, you've got to use the objections ahead of time. And again, this helps you to get out of the friend zone, as I was talking about earlier. Now, when people come across your copy, your ads, your webinars, all that kind of stuff, you should always be answering objections ahead of time. So you shouldn't be, leaving people to make up their minds, especially when you get to, I guess, in any part of your copy where you have offers or calls to actions. Think about the reasons why people wouldn't buy from you. Think about every reason, even if you think, well, there's no way when people see my service or my product that they wouldn't buy from me. Let's just assume that everybody wouldn't buy from you, and your copy will be 10 to 100 times stronger just because you will have answered objections ahead of time, and you wrap it into whatever copy you're putting together, ads, sales letter, videos, webinars, all those types of things. Answer them ahead of time. So step 7 in creating better copy is fear of missing out throughout the copy. So there's a lot of people who, once they understand kind of like, how to create great copy, they don't really understand that because attention spans are so short in this day and age, you have to kind of remind people that they're going to miss out if they don't take advantage of what it is that you're offering. Whether if it was something free, even like a lead magnet, a free PDF guide, you've got to make sure that you emphasize across to that audience, not to the point where that's the only thing you're talking about, but you got to remind them. So your copy should give the impression of, you're going to miss out if you don't follow and watch Leon every Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. UK time. Yeah. And why is that? Because you'll miss out on what I've got coming up next week, because it's going to be amazing if you're a business owner. Yeah. And I use the mix there, fear of missing out, also an open loop, because I've led you down a path where I've revealed that there's something you won't want to miss, right? And I'll tell you more about that next Wednesday, and that will help to open the loop a bit more, because I'll tell you next Wednesday. But anyway, I'm going into more FOMO. But the one thing I'd say, guys, is, there's a lot of business owners out there who deliver value, deliver great content, but they're scared of selling. If you're a business owner, remember, your business isn't a business if you aren't selling. But I'm not saying to you make sales the only focus of your copy. You should simply remind people that actually, hey, you don't want to miss out on what it is I have. Why? Because if they're paying attention to you, if they're reading your sales letters, reading your ads, all that kind of stuff, you want them to take action when they're in the moment, because that's the moment they're paying attention to you. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. Right. So next point, point 8, urgency and scarcity. So if you do have, a limited number of products, a limited number of, let's say, slots or spaces for your service, like if you're an accountant, a lawyer, a coach, a consultant, that type of stuff, and you literally only have so many time slots in your day, there's no reason why you shouldn't be using scarcity and urgency. If you've got real limitations on your bandwidth, your team, the amount of delivery that you can do, use scarcity. The one thing I'd say here is don't use false urgency or scarcity. In this day and age, most people will see through it. But if you're straight up and you give a reason why it's limited, why it's, people should act now, i.e. timeliness, then that will make it more believable. So do use that. Right, point 9, social proof, testimonials. Nothing beats those who've used your products and services and had a great experience. So if you are creating copy, from time to time, use social proof to back up what it is that you're saying. Don't just, assume people will understand or get it. If you really want to back up what you've done, show testimonials, show print screens. This really works really well. If you've not got, I guess, testimonials, and you're a business owner, perhaps you want to go back out to clients, ask them for a testimonial. Even better, get them onto a Zoom call and record them live as a video. Obviously, warn them ahead of time so they can, get dressed up the right way, or just so they know what they're speaking to you about. Also, if you use LinkedIn and you do B2B, a lot of business-to-business services, you can request recommendations, perhaps from clients or people who, have been clients or heard you speak, or just know that you're an expert, that type of stuff. I use a lot of social media print screens. They're just very believable, from Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, LinkedIn. They work really well to help convince people, of me being an expert or an authority when it comes to marketing for business owners. And using social proof in your copy, it works tremendously well. You'll know from a lot of the, I guess, the godfathers and godmothers when it comes to copywriting, social proof must be used. And then finally, in my fast track or accelerated way to win when it comes to copywriting, is use a call to action. If you've got somebody's attention, and whether it's on a webinar, whether they're watching on a VSL or direct from a, Facebook Live or YouTube video, whatever it is, have a call to action and show the audience what do they have to lose. Literally tell them. If you don't take advantage of this, the thing is, what can happen is you can try and figure out all of this stuff on your own. That might be an example. But if you try and figure it out on your own, how long will that take you? Yeah. So that's another way to show people what they have to lose. So people would have time to lose. Or actually, you can go take this information that I've given you right now, guys. I've given you 10 tips and implement it. But I can tell you, it's probably going to take you between 3 to 6 months even to figure out these 10 key points that I've given you to the point where you're generating consistent results. That's another way to show people what they have to lose: time. Yeah. So whenever you do have call to actions, don't just say, hey, buy my stuff. Show them why. Yeah. Give them a reason why it's important that they take up your offer. Show people why, your service will save them time, money, or improve their quality of life. And it adds more of a compelling reason why people should pay attention to what you do. So they're the 10 points that I wanted to give you in today's live. And if you weren't watching already, it was copywriting the fast track tutorial for better marketing results. And if you have jumped on towards the end of this, then you know what, you can rewatch the beginning, I guess, a bit later. And rewind and come back to it. If you're watching this on YouTube, thanks for jumping in. If you got any questions, remember, drop them into a comment below the videos once you have watched, and if you do have any questions, and especially around copy. A lot of people just think it's just words on pages, but it really is that once you understand copy, you understand how to put videos together better. It can be Facebook Lives, it can be podcasts, and you understand that there's specific things that you can include without coming across salesy, and that you should include because it will give you better results in your business rather than just showing up, delivering content, and staying in the friend zone where people don't say, yeah, I'd like to see you again and buy your product or your service. Yeah. So get out of the friend zone, guys. It's Leon Street. I hope you have enjoyed this today. You know, when it comes to copy, if you're interested and, you know, you want to learn more, remember, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're not already a subscriber on my channel, go to leonstreet.com/YouTube. It will redirect you when you go onto that link to YouTube where you can subscribe and get all my latest videos for free, as well as all of my past videos. I've probably got about 70 videos on the YouTube channel as it stands. A lot of great content on there. Now, finally, guys, it'd be wrong of me if I didn't offer some kind of call to action. Would you agree after seeing those 10 points? Well, here it is, guys. If you're stuck, drop me a message. Very soft call to action. I'm not going to try and sell you anything, genuinely. If you're stuck right now and you just need pointing in the right direction, drop me a message on YouTube or on Facebook, and I'll point you in the right direction of what you can do. I've got lots of free lead magnets, guides, and videos that I have, as I said, on YouTube and whatever. And perhaps I just need to link you to one of those where you can watch and find out exactly what it is that you need to overcome your challenges when it comes to marketing in your business. So, guys, we are closing now. So it's me live from Poland. Thank you for watching. I'll be back in the UK from Saturday onwards. I'll be back Sunday morning from the UK. Remember, 8:30 a.m. Sunday mornings are all good morning business owners. So you wake up on a Sunday morning ready, fresh, raring to go on a Sunday, so you can prepare and plan your week ahead with a kickstart or a kick up the ass from me, actually. But anyway, guys, I've enjoyed this one today. Thanks for watching. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my evening here in Poland, and I look forward to being with you all soon. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, remember, go subscribe. Take care. Bye-bye.